standard form. ये आया नहीं है? आया नहीं? आपका you are recording. Okay. So a typical linear programming problem in standard form, we pose it as a maximization problem. Maximize, okay, C1 a function z which is equals to C1 x1 plus C2 x2 plus Cn xn, subject to the condition that there are less than or equal to constraints. There are m constraints, a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus a1 and xn is less than or equal to b1, a21 x1 plus a22 x2 plus a2n xn is less than or equal to, and finally we have am1 x1 plus am2 x2 plus amn xn is less than or equal to bm, okay, where x1 x2 xn are the decision variables, and also we have that x1 x2 xn are greater than or equal to 0, and this b1 b2 b1 m, they are all positive constants. So this is the standard form. You will have it is need not necessarily be that these should be positive, and also all those were modifications, how we handle these modifications other than the standard form, we will see later. Okay, first let us see how we solve this. Okay. So what we did is, first we converted this into an equality constraints by adding slack variables. That means we added plus xn plus 1 is equals to b1 plus xn plus 2 is equals to b2. So like this, plus xn plus m is equals to bm. Okay, so these xn1 plus 1, these we call them as slack variables. They are basically positive values. So we will have that xn plus 1, xn plus 2 plus xn plus m, there also should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so once we do it, and we also add this in the objective function by multiplying with 0, is 0 times xn plus 1 plus and so on, plus 0 times x n plus m. Okay. So this we can solve. Now there is a method, what we call it as the simplex method, where you can start from one solution and we go or to the other solutions in such a way that the objective function, this z, gets maximized as we move from one solution to the other. Okay, so we have taken a simple example and we try to solve it. So now let us now take this, how this simplex method works. Okay, I will just try to discuss today by taking the same example which we discussed in the last class. Okay, so what is the problem which we were solving is this. I will just directly write the objective function, maximize z is equals to 2x1 plus x2 subject to the condition that 3x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 300, x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 200, and x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so if you see that this is what are the number of decision variables here? There are two, that is x1 and x2. This is a maximization problem, and we have less than or equal to constraint. These two are the positive quantities. So basically this is in standard form. Okay. So what should we do now? So we write it now as maximize z is equals to 2x1 plus x2. We add slack variables to this. That means 3x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equals to 300, and x1 plus x2 plus x4 is equals to 200, and x1, x2, x3, x4 should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so we also had in the objective function 0 times x3 plus 0 times x4. This x3 and x4, they are the slack variables. Okay, and we have also seen this, the solution of this. See here, if you consider here these two equations, the constraint equations, we have two equations. Okay, and how many variables are there here in this? There are 4 variables: x1, x2, x3 and x4. Okay, so if I make two of these variables 0, and then these two equations can be solved, okay, uniquely for the rest two variables. In general, if we have m constraints and m plus n variables, okay, where then you have to, if we make these n variables to 0, then we can solve for these constraint equations, okay, for the rest m variables uniquely. Such solutions, okay, where you may have a solution where all this if I do not impose this, you can have infinite number of solutions for this. Okay, so they are also solutions, but they are not called basic solution. Okay, what is basic solution? In the last class I have just defined what is basic solution.
Where the n variables having the value 0.
So a basic solution is one in which if I have m equations, out of m plus n variables, a solution in which n variables are 0 and the rest m may be non-zero. Even there may be 0, but we will see what happens if one of these m variables also becomes 0. What happens to that? What will be the type of solution? Okay, this is what we call it as a basic solution. Okay, so suppose if you take now these two, okay, if I make x1 and x2 equal to 0 in this, what will happen? What will be x3? X3 will be 300 and x4 will be 200. So the solution will be 0, 0, 300, 200. This is a basic solution. Okay, and any basic solution which satisfies all the constraints is called basic feasible solution. Okay, so is this a basic feasible solution which I have written? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because it is satisfying all the constraints. Okay, suppose if I make x1 as 0 and x2 as x3 as 0, let us say x3 and x4 I make it 0. What will be x2 x1 and x2? How much you get?
50 and 150.
50 and
150.
50 and 150. So the solution will be this, isn't it? 50, 150, 0 and 0. Is this a basic feasible solution?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because this is a basic solution, because why? See here how many variables are there. The number of variables is n plus m is equals to 4. There are 2 decision variables and 2 slack variables. So n plus m is equals to 4 and n is 2. So m becomes 2. Okay. So a basic solution is one in which n variables should be 0. So these two are 0. So this is a basic solution, and also this is feasible solution because why it is a feasible solution? Because this solution satisfy both the constraints. Okay, they should satisfy all the constraints. Even if it violates one constraint, then it will not be a basic solution. Take the case of, let us say x1 is equals to 0 and x3 is equals to 0. What the basic solution we get? Please let me know.
X2 300, X4 minus 100.
X2 is, so x1 is 0, x2 is 200, x3 I am making it 0, x4?
X4 minus 100, X2 minus 300.
X2 is 300, yes, exactly. Because, and x4 is?
Minus 100.
Minus 100. Is it a, this is a basic solution? Okay, because you have 2 zeros here in this, and but is it a feasible solution?
No.
Because
No,
why?
not.
X4 is negative.
X4 is negative. Okay, we should get x4 as a positive value, but we are getting x4. It is a basic solution, but it is not feasible. Okay. So, and the variables in the basic solutions which are non-zero, they are called the basic variables, and the 0, they are called the non-basic variables. Okay. So the beauty of this linear programming or any linear programming problem is that, okay, the maximum or the optimum occurs as a basic feasible solution, So we have to look only for basic feasible solutions. Among all the basic feasible solutions, you will get at one of the basic feasible, you will be getting the maximum. Okay, so what the simplex method does is that it starts from one initial basic solution and it moves to the next basic solution in such a manner that the objective function gets increased as we move from one solution to the other solution. So how we have to move, okay, so that we reach the maximum is I will be explaining now. Is this clear now? What is basic solution and what is basic feasible solution? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let us the graphically in the last class we have shown I have plotted the graphical solution for this. If you again have a look at it, you will really, it becomes much clearer the whatever I have discussed right now. So let us plot now this again. So how will be our solution? This I have plotted. So because our solution will be in the first quadrant, okay. So when x1 is 0, x2 is 300. Let us say this is 300, 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 50. $50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. So when x1 is 0, this is x1 and this is x2. Okay. So when x1 is 0, x2 is 300. When x2 is 0, so we will have this. This is what we have plotted. This is the anything above this will violate the first constraint. Similarly, when x1 is 200, so 200, 200, you will have this. Okay, so this is my feasible reason, isn't it? This is what we have. This is my feasible reason. Okay. So when I write this equation in terms of the slack variables, we can write it as plus x3 is equals to 300 plus x4 is equals to 200. This is plus 0 times x3 plus 0 times x4. Okay. What will be the solution here at the origin? What is the values of x1, x2 and x3 and x4 at this point? At the origin, what is the solution? What are the values? When x1 is equals to 0 and x2 is equals to 0. Here 0, 0, What will be x3?
300.
No, 300 and 400. Okay, so this point basically represent the basic solution, which is this. Okay, and what is the objective value here at this z?
Sir, x4 is 200.
200, sorry. This is 200. Okay, so this is the basic solution, and the objective function value is how much here? When you substitute these values in the objective function here, z
0.
0, because 2 times 0 plus 0 times x3 is 300, but even then, because we are multiplying, so z is equals to 0. So we start with this. Okay, then what will be the value of x1 and x2 at this point? x2, x1, x2, x3 and x4. Please tell me. At this point, let me call this as G, A, B, C. What is the values of x1, x2, x3 and x4 at this point? A.
100, 0, 0, 100.
100,
0, 0, 100.
0, 100. Okay, is this a basic solution? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is a basic solution. Why it is a basic solution? Because we have 4 variables x1, x2, x3 and x4. Okay, number of variables n plus m is equals to 4. The number of constraints is 2. Okay, so we have to have 2 should be 0. So here what are the values? Which here x1 and x2 are 0. Here x2 and x3 are 0. Okay, so this is a basic solution. Is it feasible solution?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because it is
Yes.
satisfying all the constraints. What is the value of z here?
200.
200.
How much? 200.
200.
How much?
200.
200. Z is equals to 200 here. Okay. What about this point C? What is the solution at C? This is A. What are the values of x1, x2, x3 and x4?
0, 200, 100, 0.
0, 200, 100 and 0. It's not happening. Is this a basic solution?
Yes. Sir.
Yes, because you have 2 zeros here. And is it a feasible solution also?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, because this solution satisfies the constraints also. Okay. So, and what is the value of z here? Z, how much is the value of z here?
200.
200.
Huh?
200.
Oh, 200, eh?
Yes, sir.
200. Okay. So now come to point B. What is the solution for this?
50, 150, 0, 0.
50, 150, 0, 0. Is this a feasible solution?
Yes, sir.
Okay, feasible solution because you have 2 zeros. What about the sorry, this is a basic solution because you have 2 zeros, and also it is feasible because all are positive. Okay, so what is z value here?
250.
250. So if you see here, when we solve a linear programming problem, okay, we have to move from one basic feasible solution to the other basic solutions. That means it means that we have to move from one corner to the other corner of the feasible region. There is no point in checking our search within this feasible region. You have to check only at the corners and the boundaries. Okay, so boundaries, why we have to see, we have to check, that we will come later. So basically what we have to do is, the beauty of this linear programming problem is that the optimum occurs at the corners, and at these corners you will have basic feasible solutions. That means if you can move from one basic feasible solution to the other basic solution, so you have to move in such a way that your the objective function is maximized. Okay, so this simplex method which I am going to discuss right now, so it gives a systematic procedure of moving from one basic feasible solution to the next basic feasible solution in an optimum way, so that we reach the maximum with least number of trials. Okay, here we could have moved, if I want to, let us say we start from here, the origin. Okay, so here I can reach this, what is this corner, either moving like this or moving like this. Here, because the number of constraints is 2 and the number of variables is 2, whether you move like this or whether you move like this, you require only 2 iterations. Okay, but if there are more number of variables, okay, so you have to, there should be some criteria in which, from which solution I should jump to the next solution, so that I maximize my Z, okay, by hopping from one corner to the other corner. Okay, so the simplex method basically gives a procedure for moving from one basic solution to the other basic solution. Okay, so now let us I will be explaining the procedure how we solve this, okay, using simplex method. The procedure is like this. So we are solving the same problem. The simplex. So first we start with what we call it as the simplex table. Okay, a starting simplex table. Basically we write this like this, 200. Okay, so here we also write this, we write it as maximize. We bring this also to the left hand side, z minus 2x1 minus 2x2 minus 0 times x3 minus 0 times x4 is equals to 0. Okay, so the simplex table looks like this. Okay, so we have see, when we start with x1 x2 and x3 x4 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, we know that in a basic solution the variables which are non-zero, they are called the basic variables. Okay, and the variables which are 0 are called the non-basic variables. Okay, so in this, when we do this first, if I make x1 and x2 as 0 in this first two constraints, what are the basic variables now? If I make in the starting, let us say I make x1 is equals to 0, the decision variables, and x2 as 0. Okay. So what will be the basic variables? x3 and
X4.
x3 and x4 will be the basic variables or basic variables. So we start with by making the slack variables as the basic variables. The first step is that make slack variables. What are the slack variables here? Hello?
X3, X4.
X3 and X4, isn't it? Sorry, 1 minute. X3 and X4. X3 and X4 are slack variables. Okay. So first make slack variables as basic variables. Okay. So in the first constraint 1, which is the basic variable we have? X3, isn't it? Because x1 and x2 are now non-basic variables. In the first constraint, x3 is the basic variable and x1. Similarly, in the second constraint, you have x4 as the basic variable. So this is called the basis for this equation. So we write now, so the row 1 we write, or the constraint 1. Okay. So in the constraint 1, what is the basic variable we have? We call this as basis. Which is the basic variable in row 1, the constraint 1?
X3.
X3. We write it as x3. Okay. Then the coefficient of, we'll write x1, x2, x3, x4, and we will also write what is the RHS value. So what is the coefficient of x1 in the first constraint? 3. Coefficient of x1 is 3 and coefficient of x2 is 1.
1.
Coefficient of x3
1.
1. What about coefficient of x4 in the first
Zero.
constraint? 0. And right hand side is 300. Okay. This is how we first form the row 1. Row 1 corresponds to the constraint 1. Okay. Now come to the constraint 2. That will be row 2. What is the decision what is the basic variable in this constraint?
X4.
X4.
X4. So let us write it as x4. Okay. And write the coefficients. Coefficient of x1 is 1. x2 is 1. What about the coefficient of x3?
0.
0. Coefficient of x1 is
1.
1. And right hand side is similar. Now at last we will write this, the objective function. Okay. So we call this as Z row. Okay. For this the basis is Z. Okay. So what are the coefficients of x1, x2, x3 and x4? In this it will be minus 2. This should be minus 2. Minus 2. What is the coefficient of x2? Minus 1. What is the coefficient of x3? In the z row?
0.
0. 0. What is the value of the function?
0.
0. See, if you see here, this actually basically corresponds to when we see that graphical procedure. Okay, this was like this too. Okay, this origin, what is the values of x1, x2, x3 and x4 there? 0, 0, 300 and 200, isn't it? And what is the objective value of the function at this point?
0.
0. If you see this table, okay, the right hand side which I have written is equal to the value of the basic variable at that basic solution. What is x3 here? X3 is equals to 300, x4 is equals to 600, and what is the value of z? What is the value of z at this point?
0.
0. So this we are getting it as our. Basically, the right hand side gives the value of the basic variables, okay, and the value of the function also gives at the. So this is basically the first starting point of the starting table of the simplex. Starting simplex table. The typical features of this table is that, okay, a simplex table is that each basic variable you can note down here. Let me. How do let me tell you. So that the typical properties of the simplex table is that, okay, the first property is that each basic variable appears in only one of the constraints with a coefficient equal to 1, equal to unity, and with zero coefficient coefficients in all other constraints. See, if you see here, if you see this table, okay, for the first constraint, which is the basic variable? Hello?
x3.
X3. So X3 will have a coefficient 1. Okay. Each basic variable appears only in one of the constraints with with coefficient is equals to 1, and in the rest of the constraints, which is the here only there are two constraints. In the constraint 2, what is the coefficient of x3? It is 0. Let us say if I have three constraints, in the first constraint x3 will have 1, and then the second and third constraint it will have 0. Okay. Similarly, for the row 2, which is the basic variable? Hello?
x4.
X4. So it will have a coefficient 1 in the constraint 2, and in rest of the constraints it will have its coefficient as 0. Okay. So if you see here, it has a 0 coefficient in the second or first constraint, x4. Okay. The second point is that the coefficient in the Z row सत्येंद्र इसको कैसे शिफ्ट कर सकते हैं? I want to shift it here. Okay. The second property of this simplex table is that the coefficient in the Z row for each basic variable is 0. What does it mean? Hello? Now come to the Z row, the objective function row. In this objective function, the coefficients for the basic variables. Here in this table, which are the basic variables?
x3, x4.
And x3 and x4. Okay. So in the Z row, the coefficients corresponding to these basic variables should be 0. If you see these two. Okay. These two points should be, these two should be satisfied. Then it is called. So now this is the initial basic feasible solution we start with. Okay. And what is the value of the objective function here? Hello?
0.
It is 0.
0.
Okay.
0.
So now, so that means basically I have started with this 0, 0. Okay. That is x1 is equals to 0, x2 is equals to 0, and x3 is 300, and x4 is 200. Isn't it? This table gives that. Okay. Now from this base, this is basically the initial basic feasible solution which I am starting with. Now I have to move to another basic feasible solution. So how can I move from this solution to the another one? Hello? What are the options I have to go to another basic feasible solution?
Make x3, x4 basic variables.
X3, X4
Sorry, x1, x2.
already makes sense.
X1,
So I have an option so that I make either x3 or x4 as I can make x1 and x1 or x2 as one of the basic variables. That means let me say I make x1 as a basic variable. So then if it has to become a basic solution, so I have to force one of either x3 or x4 to 0. isn't it? If I make x1 or x2 as non-zero, one of x1 or x2 as non-zero, if I have to have, let us say I make x1 as 50, okay? So because I have this solution as a basic solution? What I have written here?
No.
This is not possible because you should have minimum 2 zeros, then only it becomes a basic solution, isn't it? So I have to force either x3 or x2 to 0 so that I can have another basic solution. So that means basically what I want to say is that I have to send either x1 or x2 into the basis. If I send one of them, I have to take out x3 and x4 from the basis, either of x3 or x4. So which one to choose? So that means for entering there are two competitors, x1 and x2. For exiting there are two, x3 and x4. Okay, so from x1 and x1 which should enter, and from x3 and x4 which should leave. Okay, so how can we get this? Any idea?
There are 4 ways to do that.
No,
X1 enter.
here in this problem, this is a simple problem because I have, but by seeing the coefficients of x1 and x2, do you tell me which one will be? See, our objective should be such that, okay, by entering either x1 and or x2, I should maximize my function to the best possible way, in the best possible way. So which one should go in between from x2 and x1? Think it over. So we'll just continue that in the next class. Okay. Hello. So this is simplex method is I do not know whether I have expressed it or whether I have taught it clearly or not. Okay. So anyway, in the next class also we will take. So you have to be a little attentive to get the concept. Okay. Basically here what I am trying to do is, in linear programming problem, there is no need for searching the entire region. We have to look only for basic solutions, basic feasible solutions. What is a basic solution? Hello?
M variable 0.
Yeah, if there are n plus m variables and if I have only m constraint, okay, the solution in which n variables are made 0 and the rest m are non-zero, such a solution is called a basic solution. And among these basic solutions, they should also be feasible. What is feasible solution?
It should satisfy all constraints.
You should satisfy all the constraints. So the solution should be basic and also it should be feasible. Okay, so you start with one basic feasible solution, which usually will be at the corners of this feasible region. Okay, start with that. Okay, and move in an optimum manner from one corner to the other corner. Okay, so that we reach the optimum with very less number of iterations. Okay, so in the simplex method, okay, so the initial basic feasible solution is one in which only we will have the slack variables non-zero and all the decision variables as 0. If you see here 0, 0, 300, 300, Our decision variables are x1 and x2. Basically, we are solving our problem for x1 and x2. Okay, so they are made 0, and the slack variables are made as basic variables which are non-zero. At that point, the objective function value is 0. Okay, we start with this and we move to the next basic solution. Okay, so how we move? Okay, I will take it in the next class. Okay, is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, I will stop here. So on Monday I will not be taking. Yes. Hello. Hello. Monday I will not be taking class. I will be out of station on Monday. So we'll meet on next Wednesday. I need 1 or 2 extra classes. Anyway, once I come back, we will have it in the next week. Okay. Shall we have it next Tuesday, 4 to 5, which was our original, only for the next week? Shall I have Monday 4 to 5? Shall I have it on 4 to 5 on Tuesday, only next week? Hello? Many people are. Anyway, we will have it on Tuesday 4 to 5. I will give you an invite. Okay?
Okay, sir.
will-
4 to
I will-
5 we did Tuesday.
Eh?
Sir, Tuesday 4 to 5 we have lectures.
No, how man? My lecture I just postponed. No, I just.
No, sir, you took Thursday 4 to 5 lecture on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Wednesday. Sorry. Yeah, you are correct. You're right. So we can have it next Thursday also. Okay. So next Thursday 4 to 5. Of course, before that we will be meeting on Wednesday 12 to 1. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, sir.